We're talking famously single. Paulie and Aubree have some drama. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
This goes out to Aubree O'Day.
You stake your claim in your man, girl.
Right, inside of that car if he acting up, or inside of his turntables.
Oh, just skip all his discs. Does anyone scratch disc anymore?
No.
Everything's digital now, huh?
Oh, yeah, but also vinyl.
Vinyl, okay.
Like the CD thing that's played out.
Okay, vinyl.
What up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in studio for the AfterBuzz TV after show for E's Famously Single. She's back, Miss Tiona Hobson,
Hello, everyone.
to talk love, relationship, and all that jazz. This episode was called "Wanna Be Saved."
A lot of people need to be saved.
You ever
Everyone
heard that?
in this
What's
house
that song?
needs Jesus.
She wanna be saved.
Oh,
Wanna be saved. I ain't gonna save her. All right, so we started the episode out with Jessica and her tarot cards. Really big. I mean, I think that she needs like a show.
Yeah.
Like the tarot reader or something. Like, cause she was up reading cards like 3 times today.
Yeah, she read a lot of cards and she's very into it and knows her stuff. It might be a little too soon, but Miss Cleo is gone now, so there's a opening spot there. Jessica, if you want to slide in. Too soon? My bad.
I'm just
My
kidding.
bad.
Before we get into, though, I want to get into Aubree, obviously. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about Jessica. It seems like Samaya might be a little bit of a cockblock because she has her eye on Miss Jessica. Or do you think we're seeing this edited situation where maybe Jessica truly isn't? Do you think Jessica's into Willis?
I don't think Jessica realizes she's into Willis. It's a problem that I think some girls have, myself included, where your flirtatious nature naturally comes out, and I think that there could definitely be something there, but Jessica likes the attention she gets from Willis and is too afraid to break that completely off. So maybe deep down somewhere she does actually like him and maybe isn't ready to accept that yet because he got a lot of babies.
A lot. But she masturbated and she said that, I thought of Willis. And Willis had this comment where he was like, well, yeah, Jess, she a free spirit and, she'll know if she's ready for a relationship. And Jessica felt Willis had a deep undertone with that comment. I think she had a deep undertone in her thought process.
I agree, because she was the one who brought up the question of who do you think everyone in this house is ready for a serious relationship, and then was fine when he was talking about everybody else, but as soon as he got to her, all of a sudden she wants to be uncomfortable. Because
she wanted him to say yes, but how can he say that if you are flinging mixed signals?
Definitely a lot of mixed signals with those
Question? I loved where Dr. Darcy, she said, Jessica's flirtatious spirit is confusing Willis. And it really is true because it gets to this point of like, it'll be so interesting. There'll be like someone, if I'm like hanging out with people or like, especially like in the gay world, but like I'll have a flirtatious personality or I just think I'm friendly and apparently that comes off as flirtatious. I'm very cautious all the time about touching people and like hand placements and things like that because I have had situations where I come off too nice and it's like, oh, whoa, that's what you were thinking this whole time? Oh, okay, I didn't know I was leading with that. So I can understand how flirting can be very muddy when it comes to like trying to get to know somebody.
Yes.
Because especially like someone like a Brandy where she's overly flirtatious with everybody. Where like in Aubree, I feel like I'm more of an Aubree. Like I'm very flirtatious with the one person that I like, and then everybody else is like, "You're dead to me. Like, I'm not touching you. Like, I have a man. Sorry."
Sorry, he doesn't know it yet, but I'm his.
No, okay, no, I didn't say all that. But no, like I'm a one trick pony.
And I think that is the problem in this house is that you have so many of those types of personalities where you have Brandy who flirts with kind of everyone, you have Aubree who's honed in her guns on Paulie, and you have Jessica who's flirtatious in a spiritual way, and like with Willis and with Samaya. So I think that for Willis it is confusing because he doesn't know where the line is with her yet. He doesn't know if this is serious flirtation or just friendly flirtation. And there is a difference between the two, and a lot of times the lines get blurred, and I've had to be like, oh, whoa, like you know, like, oh, sorry, this was a friendly flirtation thing. I did not mean to lead you on.
Because then also, if it was flipped, he would be a hoe. He would be all these negative. Oh, he's not the type of guy. If he was hooking up with a girl in the house, if him and Samaya hooked up, Jessica would be like, done. I'm not even entertaining that. I mean, maybe she wouldn't, but most girls would.
Most girls would.
You know, so that was interesting to me. We had a group meeting with all the therapists, and everyone seemed to be really happy that they were dating people in the house.
It's kind of weird how the house is all coupled up. Because, I mean, last week, you know, we saw what happens when you're coupled up, but then you have to still do these exercises where you're dating other people, and how communication can get weirded out and stuff. So I don't know. It's just weird that this whole house,
the way it's happening.
Yeah, and it feels like one of those things of, are these relationships real and genuine, or are they because it's a matter of convenience?
Well, so that's interesting to me, because, like, I personally, after watching we'll get more into it, but the Aubree and Paulie thing, I feel like Dr. Darcy knows that that's not really gonna grow into something. And if it was to grow into something, like, to me, their relationship comes off as like a safety thing. It's like, quick, like, let's hook up, because you're the person that I'm most comfortable with, you're the person that I could kind of see myself with, and I'm safe, because that means we just have to do the projects and activities together versus having to look outward and into other things.
Which, the first episode, Aubree was so involved in the activity, in the dating activity. She refused to participate. So when I see her then eye in and single out Paulie and start pursuing him heavily, that's why I'm thinking, okay, when, you know, it's like the real world. When you put a bunch of people in a house together, people hook up, people couple up, and it's a matter of convenience over a matter of actually being real feelings and can actually work outside of this house.
Do you feel that...
Lots of feelings, Jesse.
Well, so, do you feel... when Samaya and Jessica's tea came up, Willis looked shocked. Like, did you think it was just like the way they were editing it, or you think he was really kind of over it?
I don't think he was over it. I think it was a little bit of the way it was edited together.
Go in front of me.
I think that kind of turned him on a little bit. She already had said that she masturbated to him this morning. He finds out that she was hooking up with Samaya last night. So in his mind, it's like, oh, she had her last night, thinking of me this morning. Why not?
We got... like, I want to support it. Maybe I'm just had a long week, but it was just so tiring. Brandy and Callum, wine picnic, like... They're cute. It was just a cute, chill vibe.
But it was boring.
Yeah, it was like watching The Bachelorette. Like, I think.
Yeah, it was like nothing we didn't already know happened.
Right. Like,
it wasn't like a growth of their relationship, I feel. It felt very similar to everything else we've seen with the two of them.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this Paulino Aubree situation.
Oh, my gosh.
Aubree tells Dr. Darcy, she tells him about the Paulie story, and she was hurt because in the last episode, she felt he was being dismissive when she was asking, like, do you love me? Do you want to be my girlfriend, my boyfriend?
Let's get married in Vegas.
Yeah, and insensitive. And I'm just like, okay, some of the things he said were a little rude, like the escort thing and all that, but he's joking. But then at the same time, are you being a little insensitive? Because another thing she did here was, he said, you're not listening to how I feel. And she said, I am listening to how you feel, but you're not listening to how I feel. Well, we can't all just be wanting someone to understand how we feel, because someone has to be the bigger person in the moment and say, you know what? And if it's something that you're fighting for and that person's being stubborn, sometimes you have to get back and say, okay, how do I negotiate this? How do I compromise it? Maybe it's not 50-50, so is it 60-40? You know, and then if we get to an 80-20, then, we all seen Why Did I Get Married, right? You know.
Exactly. I think that she is being a little cray-cray. If this was any other regular girl that Paulie had just met and started dating, she would be labeled as a stage 10 clinger, and he would be like, raise the alarm, get the F out of here. But she's another celebrity, and they're in these close quarters, together, you know, the matter of convenience here where you have to live under the same roof with this person. So you can't treat her that way.
Right.
And I agree with what Dr. Darcy told him, that he needed to be honest with her about how he was actually feeling, because once you hear his side of things, you realize, okay, he does care for her. Because for a while, it kind of looked like she was, you know, give me attention, meow, 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 meow. And he's like, yo, like...
But think about it. She created that, you know? All those... That's probably going to irritate her watching this back. But you... Who knows how many hours? I can imagine how bored she was. And it's like, just let me go bother Polly. Let me go bother Polly. Let me go bother Polly. And it does get to a point of like, you know, he doesn't want a relationship, or he doesn't want to rush into something. She said, I want Polly to fight for me and get to know me better. You guys have only been in this for a month. And again, it's like a evolution. It's like so quickly getting into a relationship inside this house, because it's like, you know what the tasks are going to be. You're kind of being forced and pushed onto each other. Then Polly feels from everyone in the house like they're all trying to help set him up. That's not helping you out either.
Because the whole house is involved in his relationship and his private life now, and so there's nowhere for him to go and turn to have one of his buddies to talk to, because he knows that as soon as he says something to one person, it's going to get back to Aubree right away too.
Right. We seen Aubree and Willis talk, and she said, I want Paulie now. He needs to queen his woman. And then she said, no sex till Paulie is ready for love, to make love. And that's where Paulie had said that he feels pressured and that all the girls are forcing her. And it's just kind of like, I wish Aubree could take a step back and really like look at the situation, because I wonder, is Paulie a rebound for her? Because she was in a very serious relationship, a long relationship. So is Paulie like the cool rebound? And it's like, I could see Aubree hurting Paulie in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, I just loved Paulie in tonight's episode. I think I fell for Paulie tonight a little bit. He was just so sweet, and you could see that he was honest and vulnerable. And that's a side of him that we've never seen. He's done a lot of reality television before, and we've never seen him, this side of him. We've seen him out there, you know, smashing girls, boom, boom room, T-shirt time, all that stuff. Yes, I was a huge Jersey Shore fan. And so now we're seeing him in this vulnerable state, and that he actually has feelings for this girl. He's trying not to mess it up. And he's trying so hard not to mess it up that he, in turn, is messing it up. Well, a little bit.
And then also at the same time, I think he said something really interesting too. He said, I feel like girls always pace the relationship. And it's like where he's trying to be like, but at the same time, Paulie, you got to pull your big boy pants up too. Because if you're ready for a relationship and you see like the pace, again, it doesn't mean you have to jump to her pace or she needs to jump to yours. You compromise, like Darcy was saying, compromise. It gets to a point of, how do we negotiate? How do we have a conversation? How do you get what you want and I get what I want? Okay, I understand. You know what? Like Aubree said, how can I help what my past is? You can't. But you can understand that this was your past. Now, how do I evaluate this situation so my past doesn't affect Paulie? Like Paulie said, I don't want to have to live up to the expectations of these guys that screwed you over. Makes total sense. And I said all that to myself right now because I needed to hear that.
You needed to hear that too. I mean, but you know what she said about wanting him to get to know her better, that's what happens on dates, and you guys haven't been on one. And
yeah, like you want him to say I love you, but how's he gonna say I love you when he doesn't really know you?
Yeah, and I'm like, I know that we're not seeing everything that's happening in the house because they are in this house 24/7. Right. So yes, they are having these great conversations and bonding, and she feels that strong connection. But you also have to get outside of this environment. You need to go out. Brandy and Callum, the one thing I give them, they're going out there and they're taking themselves out on dates. They're getting to know each other outside of this house a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I was really happy by the end of the episode that we did finally get it. But I've been saying for weeks to myself, why haven't they gone out on a date if their relationship is so serious right now? And I think that's part of the problem.
I think a lot of it too. Aubree seems like the type that is cool just being cuddled up, cooped up at home, and like, I just want to be cute with Paulie. Hey girl, like I'm not gonna come out tonight.
My hair.
I'm not gonna come out tonight.
Oh, my hair.
Sorry. Paulie's nervous because he feels like all these expectations with Aubree. And did you feel Brandy was being messy or keeping it real? Where she was like, you know, I mean, maybe look at it from her side. Maybe she's just crazy. She seems really quick. Good luck with that.
I think she was joking around, but with their past history, it's a little shady coming out of her mouth. We can say Aubree is crazy, but Brandy can't.
Right. We get to their night off. They got a night off for dinner. And it was funny because everyone's talking about Paulie and Aubree. And it's kind of hard for the whole house not to get involved when they're acknowledging that you smother him. And then, of course, these editors are amazing. So when they say, oh, she smothers him all the time, it's literally just her like, Paulie.
I will sit here and kiss you all day. I don't care if you're rejecting me right now. I don't even care. I'll just keep doing this. I will sit on your lap all night.
It was almost painful to watch at times because it's like, you're Aubree. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Sit in that chair next to him and be a bad bitch. Come on.
Get some other guy's attention right now.
You ain't even gonna do all that, but stop looking at this man like a puppy dog. He needs you to put your foot down. He's giving you the time of day. Understand that, respect that, just like you're giving him the time of day.
Do you think that she is like this with him because she thinks that is the type of girls that he's used to?
No.
So she's trying to be something that he would be.
I think that's who Aubree is. I think Aubree generally is a sweet girl, a hard lover. My question is, I do wonder if when Aubree gets in relationships, that messes up some of her friendships. I'd be interested to know if she's...
She probably is the girl that disappears in her relationship. Yeah. I got a lot of friends like that. Y'all know who you are. You probably not even watching this because you with your boyfriend. I'm not bitter. I ain't sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry. We see Aubree over there kissing on Paulie. He's not responsive. He said, I don't have trust issues. I have Aubree issues.
That was such a low blow.
I hear how you feel, but do you hear how I feel? It's not about you right now. Because we need to get in his head. We need to understand him. We already understand how you feel, but we need to understand where Paulie's coming from. Why is Paulie doing this? So... versus fighting, arguing, or pointing out the negative things, how do we find out the issue of why Paulie's not connecting? And it took a minute. It took them to have to... They went on a couple counseling.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Before we get into the couple counseling, though, Jessica and Willis were also interesting because Jessica said she would date Willis if they didn't live together.
See, this is more of those mixed signals that you're sending, because she also told Samaya that Willis wants to take me out for a date, and I don't know how to turn him down. And I'm like, okay, but then 2 seconds later, you just said you were going to go on a date with him, so I'm very confused. And when he's asking you point blank, what's going on with you and Samaya, what's happening here, like, is this a thing? You're not being honest with him according to what you're telling other people. And that's why I think that deep down she either does like him or she just likes the attention he gives her. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, we've all been guilty of. Taking advantage of a little male attention.
Never hurt nobody. Paulie and Aubree, and Dr. Darcy. Are you exclusive?
Ooh.
Big question. I don't know. And she said... by someone not knowing, that leads to failed expectations. And I definitely agree. But I also shout out to Paulie for holding his foot down and was like, we're not girlfriend, we're not boyfriend. I don't want to commit to that. I don't want to make a commitment that I cannot keep.
It was very beautiful. And I just have to say that Paulie dropped a lot of one-liners in this conversation
Gems.
That my friends and I call panty droppers. And I was like, whoa, Paulie, where did that come from? You're spitting some knowledge right now. And I appreciate you, Paulie, for that. Thank you.
You know, you can't put the windows in without the frame. You know, it's just, it ain't going to work like that. You know, you got to put you build the house, then you build the frame, and then you put the window in.
And that's what I want to know, really.
And Aubree was like, oh my God.
It makes so much sense when you explain it. It's like Donkey Kong. You can't rescue the princess. Like, you got to climb the ladders and go through the struggles to get to her at the end. The princess comes the saving comes at the end. I was like, Paulie, yes! Yes, Paulie.
So I know, same age. Because those are references that I reference. So. And relationships are very much like Donkey Kong. I agree with that. It's a good one.
That is like, once he said it, I was like, wow, every relationship is just like Donkey Kong.
You know, an early label leads to failing. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, I also loved, my favorite thing that he said was, she said, I don't want to waste time. And he said, is this a waste of time getting to, so it's a waste of time getting to know each other? And that's the thing. It's so funny. People feel like, oh, I need to talk to like 4 people at the same time, just in case this one doesn't. When you like somebody, it don't matter if you talk to them once a week, twice a week, however long, you gonna wait for that person, because that person is the only person you're thinking about.
Preach, Jesse.
In that order.
That is very true. And I will say that, especially for women, when you get to a certain age and you start thinking about your life and what you need, you do start trying to cut the bullshit out of your life. So I understand what she was saying. I just think it's too soon for her to be saying it.
But
it's not like they've been together for 6 months and he's still not ready to say we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
It's been a couple weeks. You guys are getting to know each other. Go out on a date. Get out of this house where you're there specifically to date other people and actually get to know each other, and then figure out. And then in 6 months, if he's still saying that, then it's like, I'm not wasting any more of my goddamn time on your ass, okay? Like, bye, see you later, say la vie.
Be realistic and reasonable. Aubree, like, you know, my thing was just this one scene where you were like, you know, like, I just want, like, a prince, and, like, because I'm, like, there's, like, dragons, and, like, I'm going to be up in, like, a castle, and, like, he's going to save me, and, like, I'm going to be, like, the princess, and I'm going to be Mrs. Peach, and, like, Mario's going to come, and, like, it's just going to be, like, a fantasy tale, like. Here's the problem, is that none of that's going to happen. I don't know what book he was reading. He read one too many Harry Potters, girl. And I feel you, because trust me, I mean, I be out here watching these movies and thinking, like, he gonna come. He ain't coming like that, girl.
We're all looking for our Prince Charming and our meet cute.
In our what?
Our meet cute. That's what it is in the movies when they have that cute moment of how they first meet each other. It's called a meet cute.
Girl, that's
clearly you never saw The Holiday with Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet, because they explain it all in there, and that is a great rom-com that, you know, basically has you thinking that you can switch lives with another person and fall in love over Christmas. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
All right, well, Tiona, I would assume that that's part of the reason why you're saying that. You know?
Probably.
And mine's probably also that I haven't watched The Holiday.
I mean, I think you should watch The Holiday.
That'll be this weekend's task. I will be prepared next week for the season finale. And I totally agree with Paulie when he was like, okay, this is fucking scary. Like, this is why I don't. Now, see, though, Paulie, is that why you would wait? You wait off and hold girls off? I agree, though, because I think that what I've learned in relationships is you can know somebody for 2 years and not know them.
That is true.
You can live with somebody for 2 years and not know them. So Aubree, all Darcy, all Paulie, people are trying to protect you right now. So in this case, get to know who Paulie is. Don't, because right now he's on camera. You don't want to. I wouldn't want to get to know the on-camera Paulie D. You know what I mean? In an interview, like, hey, Paulie, we can kiki back and forth. But like to like know you and date you and call you my friend, like, and you know this, Aubree. You know better than this. Come on, this happened with Diddy, and obviously that's a different type of relationship. But shade is shade, and people are shady. You know what I mean? Some people don't know that they are reptilian. You know what I mean? They come from that kind of blood. You know what I mean? Some people's mamas didn't raise them right. It's just how life is, you know? But I have faith in you. I have faith in... I don't know if I have faith in you and Paulie, specifically. I do agree with Darcy. I think that they are in two totally different places in life. And I feel like she's too sensitive for him.
I do feel that Paulie needs a girl who isn't a yes girl, or who is different from the types of groupie girls that he would usually be involved in. He needs a strong, independent woman who does not need him, because the way he lives his life is so crazy and it's partying. And so for her to be like, yeah, well, you got your shit to do, I got my shit to do over here. He needs someone who's gonna stand up like that and
fuck
not
this pussy or what?
Yeah, and not someone who's gonna be like, Paulie, I'm just gonna stay here and kiss you until you want me. He doesn't want.
Yeah, like touch
he doesn't
my
need
vagina
that
with your foot.
I mean, which footing, I guess.
Right.
some people are into it.
I've heard of crazier things.
Yeah, some people are into it. But their date was cute.
The date was really cute.
I mean, she kind of, to me, it seemed like she was that girl who's like, oh my god, I don't know how to swing a bat. Oh my gosh, like, oh, I'm gonna hit like a girl just to kind of
just so
make
he
the
can
boy
show
think
me,
that
stand
he's
behind me, and like hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did come out so I go with this. But I mean, the same. Those things scare me too, girl. Like I went on one, someone bumped me, and I ain't never gone back on one of them. It was intense. So I mean, if she ain't never did before, we're gonna give her that benefit of the doubt. Is it okay to be saved? I love that Darcy said you can't lead with healing. I think that's interesting. That's something I had to take in too for myself, because sometimes that's how you can. I feel like when people open that type of conversation up, I'm into it, because I just think like, wow, you've opened yourself up to this point. Thank you for allowing me to see you. You can see me and grow as human beings. Obviously, that's like an ideal place to be in life.
Yeah.
And most of the time, people aren't willing to reciprocate that. But I definitely agree in this situation with Aubree. You lead him with healing, girl.
Yeah.
Like Ty Dolla $ign said, these hoes trying to be saved. Not going to get saved.
Not going to save them. Sorry.
You
have to save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't depend on someone else for your own happiness or for your own saving. You need to do that. That's something you need to come and do, having handled yourself, because if you're relying on someone else for that, then I feel that's too much pressure coming into a new relationship for that.
And they'll
person.
never be able to meet that expectation, because you haven't even met it within yourself.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, let's head into what? Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We get the season finale next week. Willis and Jessica kiss. I don't know why I'm like excited for it. Like I want them to.
I don't know if I want them to. I just don't like it when people are being led on. And I still don't know what Jessica's intentions are, so I don't want her leading him on, because he is clearly someone who has a lot of feelings and loves hard and
has a lot of baggage.
Too. So I just don't want to see him get hurt.
Oh, me either. I really like Willis. Paulie versus Aubree.
That's I don't even know where to go with them. I feel like I said too much negative stuff about them.
But they are still dating in real life, so hopefully the season finale leads to an amazing conclusion in which we see how that balances outside of it. And then we're going to get all the tea. Brandy versus Callum.
Ooh, now that I'm looking forward to.
Okay, looked like he hitting on her friend in front of her. Which do you think he was, or Brandy's being overdramatic?
Probably overdramatic. I think that she does that sometimes, and I think that he has a hard time trying to explain his side of the story, so then he gets caught up in his words, and she's like, "What you say?" and snaps back at him, and then that's what makes him defensive, and so he can never get his side of the story out, because she's like an angry black woman just on it.
Well, he's trying to always have to justify himself. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see how this is going to end. Again, I'm loving the show. I don't know where we're about to end at the end of this, though, but I can't wait. So make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You guys can keep in contact with me everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
And you can find me at the Tiona Hobson. And if you ever want to do an unfamously single show, I'm available and very single.
Yeah.
And not famous at all.
Well, you know what I mean? Get the whole cast in here. We'll do an unfamously single reunion show. Hosted by us unfamously single people. Because we just want boyfriends.
Yeah, that's all
y'all got any number you can just leave down in the comment? No? All right. Well, cool. If not, just hit us up on iTunes and subscribe there. Thank you. Bye!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.